This is Emily Rubin, registered dietitian with Thomas Jefferson University Hospital and Thomas Jefferson University Celiac Center, and the PR chair for the Academy of Philadelphia and Dietetic Association, presenting you with your tip of the week. So this week, we are going to continue our conversation about the gluten-free diet treating both celiac disease and non-celiac gluten sensitivity. So the U.S. Food and Drug Administration, known as the FDA, defines foods labeled gluten-free as having less than 20 parts per million of gluten. Foods can also be labeled certified gluten-free, which also is less than 20 parts per million. Any other kind of labeling, such as no gluten ingredients or gluten-free friendly, are not necessarily 20 parts per million, because not every product that is gluten-free will be labeled gluten-free, because food labeling is voluntary. As a registered dietitian, I do recommend patients eat products that are labeled gluten-free just to prevent them from getting any cross-contamination of gluten. I often see patients who come to me wondering why they are not feeling better, even though they claim that they're eating a 100% gluten-free diet. So I turn into the gluten detective, contacting companies, pharmacies, restaurants to clarify if their products are really gluten-free. Sometimes I even test my patients by making them read food labels in front of me to make sure that they're actually gluten-free. And I will even go to restaurants and quiz some of the servers and cooks to see if they're actually making the product gluten-free. Another pro tip that I have is there's many gluten-free apps where you can scan your products to see if they're gluten-free and even list gluten-free restaurants. So some of the common packaged products that contain gluten are seasonings, soups, gravies, and there's all different kinds of unrecognizable gluten additives such as hydrolyzed vegetable protein and natural and artificial color and dextrin. So when it comes to candy, not as a dietitian, we should recommend candy, but obviously everybody always wants their favorite candy. One of the big hidden sources of gluten in those little chocolate miniatures or the mixed packages of chocolate or holiday style chocolate is they do not clean the conveyor belts in between, so then there may be gluten hidden in there. Also, licorice, one of the second ingredients is actually wheat flour, and many people think that they can eat licorice, but they can't. Other products, such as packaged nuts or anything that's actually packaged, could also contain shells and wheat as well. And then very interestingly enough, there's naturally gluten-free products such as rice in a box and quinoa and buckwheat. It is actually best to get that labeled gluten-free because there have been studies that show those products possibly containing gluten from the factories or the fields. This is Emily Rubin, dietitian, wrapping up your nutrition tip of the week. For more information, you can contact yourradiodoctor.com. And we will continue one last session on the importance of the gluten-free diet.